All right, welcome to Mundelein Minute. My
been a-
name is
It's been a
Eric
while.
Schwenk. It has been a while. I'm a trustee here in the village of Mundelein. Who are you?
I'm also a trustee in the Village of Mundelein. I'm
For the,
Kara Lambert.
yep, there
I'm
you
not
go.
Eric Schwenk.
Nope. And this is episode something up in the corner,
In
and
the
I don't know what
70s.
it is.
In the
It's in the
70s.
70s still. And it's been a while since we've done one of these. Sorry. As we've said before, life gets in the way. And here we are. We're back at it. So before we get started, this is my camera, my house, my microphones. There's no taxpayer dollars in the creation or distribution of the podcast. There's also a family here. Uh, so I've got kids upstairs.
Which would
And
perhaps be the reason why we haven't recorded.
right, yeah, exactly.
Not just yours, but
Correct. So there's kids, there's family, there's a couple of cats and a bird. So
yep.
pardon the noise. Welcome to my craziness. So, all right, we're talking about the village board meeting from Monday, April 8th. And that's not the village board meeting. That's the liquor control meeting. We'll get there. Right. So village board meeting 3,297 for those of you keeping track. And let's jump into it.
Let's do it.
So we approved some minutes.
Nothing there. Said
Nothing
the
there.
pledge. Nothing
Yep,
there.
did the pledge. Yep.
We had public commentary and there was some peeps there.
Yeah, so public commentary, we had three individuals, all board members from the Mundelein Tool Library who came and spoke to the board. So, so the library gave us a letter, emailed it, and when, I don't know if Village printed it or dropped it off.
I
But
think dropped it off because it was their writing on the envelope.
it was their writing, yeah. So we got a hand-delivered letter and one emailed with some requests. So I'm not going to go through the entire multi-page document, but
Should we go through the 4 requests?
yeah, so their requests were, because they brought this up during public commentary, that that the lease termination date be extended to October 31st, 2024, that the village approve a lease to store MTL personal property, that the village fund a moving allowance of $24,000, and that the village board and Mundelein Tool Library partner in a task force to be called the MTL Relocation Task Force to search for appropriate space for MTL in the village of Mundelein.
And that task force would be either the assistant village administrator or community development.
Yeah.
They wanted somebody from staff.
Yeah, and a village trustee,
Yep.
and members of the MTL's board relocation committee, and a member of the Mundelein Tool Library.
Yes.
So those are their 4 asks, and they went into a lot more detail in the letter, and tried to provide some background into it, which was appreciated. And they came and spoke during public commentary and reiterated those requests. And they were told that that staff would be drafting a response to this letter and providing it later this week.
Yes.
So that's where we're at.
That's where we're at.
Further into this, so along with the tool library is the train club,
Mm-hmm.
and they co-share a space in the old water building.
Right now.
So we'll talk about them in just a moment here.
Good summary.
Good summary. All right.
That works.
So let's start with the mayor's report. Couple proclamations. The National Public Safety Telecommunications Week, recognizing the work that our telecommunicators do. The Mayoral Monarch Pledge,
That's right.
recognizing the work that the monarch butterflies do. And then a proclamation recognizing April 26, 2024 as Arbor Day, recognizing the work that the trees do.
The trees do them. Clean
They
our
do
air.
work. Yep. They do good work, all of them. But the telecommunications week is pretty awesome too.
Yeah.
So not trying to make light of any of that, but
No, it's a vital service.
it is absolutely a vital service. Yep. Okay, so the resolution for the North Central O-Gaugers Model Railroad Road Club. Geez, guys, that is
Got it?
a long name.
They need
So-
like an acronym.
They do. So a lease agreement. So we came to an agreement with them to lease some
Of the Archer Business Center.
Archer Business Center, some vacant space that's owned by the village. This is a month-to-month lease. It's not, there's no money exchanged here. It is provided to them for free.
Yep. It's similar to the setup that the tool library had.
Similar to what they have now, similar to what the tool library had, and similar to what the tool library was offered.
Yes. Oh, yes. Yes.
Yep.
All of the above.
Yep. All right, so trustee reports, so community and economic development, tattoo shop variations, so a tattoo business requested to use space in where the roller rink
Yep.
is, and that is now rezoned to residential. You wouldn't tell today by looking at it, but it is zoned residential.
Yep. So you have to get a variance.
So they got a variance.
Yep.
And then Springs at Mundelein Continental Property. So this is a large apartment building for the northwest corner of Butterfield Road and Huntington Drive. And they're changing that agreement and changing the parties of who's doing the work.
Yep. Already been presented to the board like a year ago.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. So it kind of slowed down. I don't want to say died out, but then it's now back, and changing some things there. And then Trustee Wilson recognized that the bike race is July 22nd. So mark your calendars.
Wow. And that Tighthead is the sponsor again.
Tighthead is the title sponsor, yeah.
So, but we're still looking for sponsors.
Yep.
Maybe the Mundelein Minute should sponsor it. Anyways, sorry, I'm done. I'm done now. Stop.
Now I'm thinking.
Jesus.
Okay.
I was being facetious.
So Public Works Committee. So we appointed a member admission to JAWA.
Which I think this is so funny that we have to do this because it's like, do we control Lake Zurich's fate?
Right. We
just felt weird.
We are. So we have to pass an ordinance consenting to the admission of a new member to JAWA, the Joint Action Water Agency, because we are one of the founding members of JAWA. So, which
I don't know, it's just weird.
It does feel weird to be like, can Lake Zurich have water?
Good for them though. They're gonna build out the infrastructure and they'll come online at some point. And,
they're gonna come online, yeah.
You know, I probably shouldn't say this out loud. I wonder if this is as a result of like the things that happened last summer with Hawthorne Woods not having water, things like that.
I think this was in the works when we went and toured that facility. So
but
this
I'm
was
just, like, wondering like if this will, if we'll see more of this out that direction.
If you want good water,
that direction,
JAWA's the way to go. Yeah.
Anyways,
JAWA the water. I can't. Every time I hear the name, I think of Jabba the Hutt.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, leave me alone.
Okay, we're moving on.
Okay.
Nerd.
So then we updated the landscaping code. Some amendments to the landscaping code.
Just to protect all the trees, not just developmental trees.
Correct.
So,
Finance committee, we paid bills $1,322,929.57. And then I'm skipping one. There was the fiscal year annual budget. So we passed the annual budget of $73,688,393. I'm sorry, $393. So.
Got it?
Yep.
Okay.
Numbers.
Are there any cents?
No sense.
No sense. Wouldn't it be funny if a budget went all the way down to the cents?
I
do think it goes down. That is funny. It goes down to the 3, like the ones place.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, when I read that the other night, I was like thinking that same thing, like, going, "Wow, we're really down to the dollar here." Yep. Okay, so the last one that I skipped was the water sewer rate increase. So this was something that came up in a committee of the whole meeting, and
in a finance committee meeting.
Well, it was a committee of the whole / finance committee meeting. Yes, technically finance committee, but the whole board was there to discuss.
Right. Well, yeah. Okay.
So, excuse me. So the idea was proposed by staff to increase water rates 11%, 6% to cover the increase from JAWA. That's their increase this year to cover their costs. And then the additional to
maintain what we have, basically.
To fund infrastructure projects within the village.
Maintain and start to think about new capital projects in the next few years.
Correct.
And you and I had kind of I had a coronary at the meeting.
I didn't quite have a coronary. I just don't like it. I don't like increase after increase after increase. Even the mayor talked about it in the meeting, talked about inflation fatigue.
Actually, my brother just sent me something, and I never reference him, but he's a nerd and like reads all day, and he sent me something to the effect of, we haven't seen this inflation. What did he say? U.S. inflation rate has now been above 3% for 36 consecutive months.
Right.
The longest period of high inflation since the late 80s, early 90s. Woof.
So, yes, it's not unheard of for government to correct for some of that. And usually it comes a year after some of these inflations. So 36 months, this makes sense that we're now seeing the year after.
We're seeing more. Like we saw it a little bit last budget season. Remember, there was like slide of like the things that increased. But now that slide is dramatically
getting
larger.
Bigger. Right.
Yeah.
So we will have to make adjustments. This was one that I was willing to go up to 6%. I was willing to even go up a little bit more.
We talked about that. We talked about, is there somewhere in the middle we can go?
And I'm very aware that the difference between 8% and 11% is pennies per unit of water.
Right, but that adds up to
It adds up,
yeah.
and then it's all compounding to the next increase next year and the year after that and the year after that.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to be mindful in the increases here. And we kept hearing about, oh, well, all of these years that we didn't increase. Well, that was an opportunity to have small, negligible
right.
increases
Yeah.
to set up for capital improvement projects in the future.
And we
didn't.
Yeah.
And some of that was during COVID, was a conscious decision of the board. Some of it was not.
before. Yeah,
correct.
well before.
So I get a little frustrated with increasing tax rates.
Well, I talked about this. I ranted about this, about like not just the village, right? We can only control the village, but like, let's be honest, the taxpayer sees a bill and it's all the same in their mind, right? And so like,
Yep.
although we can only control what we control, I still think in my head I should be aware or cognizant of like what is a homeowner facing at this point.
Yes. Yep.
And we live here, right? Like we live here, so
pay that same bill.
Right, we pay that same bill. You know, I couldn't wrap my head around it in like good faith. We always talk about the red face test. Yeah. And I thought I would have failed it. So I don't know.
Yeah, and after just increasing property taxes, after just increasing sales tax, this was one more that I just could not vote yes on.
But we're losers and we lost.
We did lose. But that's all that we've talked about it before, right?
The will of the board.
The will of the board.
Yep. And
this went 3-3, and the mayor broke the tie, and the 11% increase passed.
So June 1st, it should go up.
June 1st, your shower gets more expensive.
You know, like as a mom of a 7-year-old boy who takes the world's longest showers, I'm going to probably cut that off real quick here.
Yes, I am well aware of the long showers.
Like,
and
what are you doing in there? The other day, he was tight rolling a washcloth and throwing it against the wall. This is what we're doing.
But it was warm. Oh, parenting.
Yep.
All right. So moving on. Public Safety Committee.
We got nothing. We got skipped too.
You got skipped. We came back for nothing. We came
No,
back for the blood drive.
A blood drive coming up, and Amazing Mundelein.
Amazing Mundelein.
It's May 4th.
May the 4th be with you. 4th. And blood drive is April 27th at the fire station.
I'm so excited for Amazing Mundelein. I have 13 kids helping me.
That's amazing.
I know.
For sure,
excited.
amazing.
It's going to be chaos.
All right, so building committee. We changed some rules for food trucks.
Lowering the licensing fee, I
guess.
Yep,
making it easier.
Hopefully.
Yep, food trucks are awesome. And no joke, that was it.
That was it.
That was it. We had nothing else, and we went into executive session to talk about land acquisition or sale of property.
In minutes.
And
that was it. And we were done. Executive session was long, but nothing going on this weekend, I don't think. I'm trying to think. Nothing.
No.
Getting into baseball season here, so baseball's going to pick up.
That's awesome. About it. Yeah.
All right. That's all we got.
All right.
If you have questions, we're always available via email, or our cell phones are also on the Mundelein website.
Yeah, on the Mundelein website. You can always reach out to us.
All right. Take care.
All right. Have a good one.